This is Block 11, Reagan's Revolution, Section 5, The Cold War Ends, with Pope John Paul II. Karol Wojtyla was a Pole who was elected Pope and took the papal name John Paul II in 1979. He was very young for a Pope. He was in his 50s. Although Christianity, now, he's a Pole. And in communist Poland, Poland is traditionally a very, very strongly Catholic society. And under 40 years of communist rule, religion had been repressed. But one of the first things that this Polish Pope decides to do was journey to Poland and meet the Poles who had been repressed in their Catholicism, since World War II. His arrival was not announced by the communist government. The state-run television reported that nobody was even bothering to show up to see him. But despite all those things, as you can see from the pictures, the crowds that met John Paul II when he came to Poland literally numbered in the millions. That it is just an absolute crushing sea of humanity just to see the Pope when he arrived in Poland. And what did he say when he spoke to crowds in Poland? He spoke of man's responsibility to God. He said that God is the only true final authority, and that the Poles of all the people on earth should work to establish righteousness on earth. Communism cannot abide religion because it gives the people an alternate source of authority. And the communist government in Poland was so corrupt, so inefficient, had led the Poles to so much poverty, that the Pope's visit and the Polish government's attempt to cover up the visit, to downplay the visit, to say that nobody was showing up to see the Pope, just pretty much served to sever whatever bounds of legitimacy that the communist government had left in Poland. That it was one of the greatest moments in the Cold War, in the fight against communism. It's one of the greatest movements in 20th century Catholicism, when this Pope, with no divisions, no tanks, no air force, no guns, nothing but his own moral authority, went to Poland and told the Poles that communism was not the be-all and end-all, and that they had his blessing in working to establish a righteous society on earth.